Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the Zen Lounge. I have an exciting video planned for you guys. As you know, if you've been following this channel, we have set huge goals for ourselves for 2023. It's the new year, and in 2 days is actually the new lunar year. The new lunar year starts on the 22nd, and we want to make sure that you guys crush every goal that you set into your future timeline. So I'm here with none other than Mr. Come Out Better. He's going to give us some tips on how we could come out better this year and make this the best year of our life. So, Chris,
Absolutely,
what's some
man.
tips you could give us?
Simple stuff. So Zach and I were talking last couple hours and really breaking it down. The year 2023, you break it down to months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, and moments. And if you can start mastering the moments, right, of the year instead of the whole year itself, which can be daunting or it can be overwhelming perhaps. You get anxious, you get overwhelmed and concern, worry comes in. If you microtize, we go right to the micro moments. What do we do every moment? We breathe, right? So breathing through your nose, it's something so subtle that we go throughout our day and we don't even realize we don't do at times. Breathing properly, breathing through our nose, breathing into our belly. That's a small win that, as we talk about even in finance, you compound. And when you compound things, little pennies over time, staking, delegating, every day over time, you look at your bag and you look at your abundance and it's overflowing. So mastering the moments, so your breath throughout the day. The next thing is really, really waking up to the power of water. And it's something as simple as drinking more water, being aware of the water you're consuming in terms of language that you hear, information, because so much of our world is predicated around that simple element, and your health. Your health is so important, talking about getting your eating right, your hydration down, taking care of your vessel. Because if we're going to paint this, golden timeline of the future, we can't be rusted and oxidized internally. We've got to remain golden inside and out. And so those are two simple pillars that we do every day, whether we realize it or not. Some of you haven't taken a breath in the last 30 seconds. And if you continue that focus, and Zach was mentioning to me how in Hawaiian culture that to settle disputes, the kings or the leaders of the spaces and the communities, they would sit next to each other and breathe until they synced up. And in the moment that they synced up, a solution was resolved. And you think that's such an abstract thing that we live in this world today, the matrix, and how we're so competitive and we argue and we tear each other down. And it's crazy, it's something as simple that getting back to your breath can be so foundational. Another key pillar that I like to talk about in terms of coming out better and coming out of your language, your babble that we tell ourselves better, is really paying attention to the words you speak. The words you say, the words you speak in your head. Most importantly, we speak 10 to 20,000 words a day. And a lot of those words we keep inside. And a lot of those words, well, our left brain is really telling us what isn't working, why we're not good enough, all the fear that we can have, the worst case scenarios, the what ifs. And when you start catching yourself in those spaces and you start realizing that these repetitive words, just like the pennies that compound, just like everything that compounds, your breath, your choices, and so forth, well, you start realizing how much you put yourself in your own mental matrix. So attention to the words you speak, having pace, just the tempo. It's such a lost art, and yet here you are listening to us talk and you're hearing our words. And so our language does matter in this whole matrix, from how the banking systems work, how all of our healthcare systems, mainstream media, all the misinformation. Well, information, a lot of it's talked about in words.
And yeah, 90% of what you do takes collaboration and communication, so
Yep.
you might as well
Exactly.
master your language. But you just heard it, so he said breathing, making sure you know about water. Number 3, the language, internally and externally. So everybody, thank you. These are our tips for you. We'll be doing more videos, more content. We're going to be having a Twitter Space series coming soon.
Let's do it.
And we're going to crush all our goals. Hopefully these tips helped you guys, and peace.